Welcome to Basic Thermodynamics class. We are discussing chapter 4, a standard cycle. In this class, we discussed about the diesel cycle. So in this class, we will discuss about the sequence and operations involved in the diesel cycle and the working principle of diesel cycle and the pressure and volume graph and the temperature and the entropy diagrams of a diesel cycle. Next, so what is a diesel cycle? So this is a thermodynamic cycle was designed by the Rudolf Diesel in 1987, and this is a basic cycle for the engines working with a heavy oils and the diesel fuels. Heavy oils and the diesel fuels. And similarly, the sequence of the operations is like a 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and this cycle is also known as a constant pressure cycle because heat is added at the during the constant pressure process. So what's the sequence of operation in diesel cycle is 1 to 2 adiabatic compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 adiabatic expansion, and 4 to 1 constant volume heat rejection. So these are the four thermodynamic operations involved in the diesel cycle: adiabatic compression, constant pressure heat addition, and this cycle is also called as a constant pressure cycle because we are giving heat at the constant pressure. Third one, adiabatic expansion. Fourth one, constant volume heat rejection. And how will you represent a representation of a diesel cycle on PV diagram? We have as shown in the figure. So this is the PV diagram. So 1 to 2 represents here 1 to 2 represents adiabatic compression, 2 to 3 represents constant heat addition, 3 to 4 represents adiabatic expansion, and see here it is in a constant volume, not is a constant pressure, it is in a constant volume heat rejection. So here we are giving heat supply, here the heat supplied at constant heat supplied, we are giving heat supplied at a constant pressure. So the cycle is also called as a constant pressure cycle, and heat is rejected at a constant volume. Heat rejected you can represent as a Q2 also, Q1 and Q2 also, but here I am writing QS and QR because the QS S means supplied, R means rejected. That's why I am writing QS and QR. 1 to 2 adiabatic compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 adiabatic expansion, 4 to 1 constant volume heat rejection. Here the same, what is the working principle means we'll study. Here the 1 to 2 represents the adiabatic compression process. Here the air is compressed adiabatically, so the initial pressure at the point 1, here the initial pressure P1, T1, initial pressure P1 T1 increase it to P2 T2, increase it to P2 T2. Here the point P silent features the P1 comma T1, P1 comma T increases to P2 T2, P2 T2, P1 comma T1. Observe the points here P1, and in TS diagram we identify the T1 point. Here pressure P2, pressure P2. So here the P1 increases to P2. See here the pressure value is increasing, here the P1 value and here it is a P2 value. The pressure is increases from a P1 to P2 and temperature also increases from a T1 to T2. Here the no heat is rejected. No heat is rejected means no heat transfer across the walls of the cylinder. So work is done on the system. Here the work is done on the system and the volume reduces from V1 to, here the volume is V1 and here the volume is V2. Here the volume is reduces, here the volume is reduces. P1 is increases, T1 increases and the volume is decreases. This is the constant compression process at 1 to 2 and it is adiabatic process means that P1 by P2 is equal to P1 V1 power gamma is equal to P2 V2. P2 V2 and next we have to follow that V2 by V1 is equal to V2 by V1 is also equal to T2 by T1 whole power 1 by gamma minus 1. So that will discuss in the next slide after the completion of principle of diesel cycle. Next coming to the 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is a constant pressure at heat addition. Constant pressure at a heat addition. So what will happen at the constant pressure at heat addition? So heat is supplied or heat is added to the air while the pressure beam is constant. Here see that the pressure is constant. The line indicates that the P2 is equal to P3. So it is called it as a pressure cycle. Here the temperature decreases from T3 to T2. So it will observe in the TS diagram. Here only observe that the pressure and volume only. And the volume increases from V3 to V2. Volume increases from V2 to V3. Here the volume is V2 and it comes to here. The means that the volume is increases from V2 to V3. Increases from V2 to V3. So this is a process between 2 to 3. Next, adiabatic expansion process. Adiabatic expansion process means at point 3 the supply of heat is cut off. So this point is also called as a cutoff point. This point is also called a cutoff point. The point 3 is called as a cutoff point. This one is called a cutoff point and we represented with as a rho. Rho is equal to cutoff. Rho is equal to, we can represented with a rho and we can call it as a cutoff point. Cutoff point. Adiabatic expansion, here the adiabatic expansion starts from 3 and ends at 4. The work done by the air is at the expense is equal to internal energy, du is equal to dW and no heat transfer is that takes place. That's why dq is equal to 0 and du is equal to dW. That is the 3 to 4 process. Coming to the 4 to 1 process, it is a constant volume heat rejection. So here the heat is rejected to the cold body at constant volume. So the pressure and temperature are decreased. Observe that here the pressure and temperature decreased to the initial state. Pressure P4 to P1 decreased from P4 to P1. Pressure and temperature decreased to initial state. Thus the cycle completes and here the no work is done and there is a decrease in internal energy. There is a decrease in internal energy. So these are the 4 processes. 1 to 2 is adiabatic compression and 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition and 3 to 4 adiabatic expansion and 4 to 1 constant volume heat rejection and at the point 3 is called as a cutoff point. So this explanation I will tell once again about the graph of the PV diagram. This is the TS diagram. See here the TS diagram is the temperature 1 to 2 is increases, 2 to 3 increases, again 3 to 4 decreases and 4 to 1 is also decreases and here the 1 to 2 there is no heat transfer takes place. That's why the entropy remains a constant. dq is equal to 0. Here also dq is equal to 0. That entropy remains constant. So at S1 is equal to S2 or S3 is equal to S4. Here the heat supplied at the pressure at a constant pressure and heat rejected at the constant volume. Same 1 to 2 adiabatic expansion, adiabatic compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 adiabatic expansion, 4 to 1 constant volume. So just in a brief I am tell once again what are the 4 process. So first one is adiabatic compression process, that is Adiabatic compression process 1 to 2. Here the air is compressed adiabatically, and we know that the pressure P1 and the temperature T1 are increased to P2 to T2, and no heat is rejected and the heat transfer does not occurs across the walls. Here the dq is equal to 0. There is no heat transfer is taken place. That's why the entropy remains constant. Entropy remains constant, and the du is equal to work is done on the system, and the du is equal to change in internal energy, and the volume of the system reduces. Volume of the reduces from V1 to V2. Volume reduces from V1 to V2 from the initial volume. Next, coming to the second process. What is the second process? 2 to 3. Heat addition at the constant pressure. At constant pressure, that represents a heat is supplied to the air while the pressure being constant. So it is called a constant pressure cycle. So temperature increases, we see that the TS diagram here, the temperature increases from a T3 to T2, and the volume increases from V3 to volume increases from V2 to. Next one, adiabatic expansion process. So 3 to 4. In the 3 to 4, the supply of heat is cut off, then the point is called as a cut-off point. Adiabatic expansion starts from 3 to 4. So work is done by the air at the expense of internal. Heat transfer is takes place. No heat transfer is takes place. And fourth one is a constant volume heat rejection. So the heat is rejected to a cold body at constant volume. The pressure and temperature are decreased to initial state. Thus the cycle completes and no work done. So decrease in internal energy. Du is equal to minus dW. Du is equal to minus. So decrease in internal energy. So now consider the analysis of an diesel engine. So I am considering the 1 kg of air contained in the cylinder. During the 2 adiabatic process, we all know that there is no heat transfer takes place. So heat supplied is at constant pressure and heat rejected at constant volume. And let P, V and T refer to the pressure, volume and absolute temperature of the air suffixed to the 1, 2, 3, 4 reference state. If the at point 1 the pressure represents P1, at point 2 the pressure represents P2, like that P1, P2, P3, P4 and V1, V2, V3, V4, T1, T2, T3, T4 that refers that the state points, that refers to the state of the point, the pressure at particular state, pressure at the particular state, volume at the particular state, temperature at the particular state. So we have to calculate all the pressure, volume at the temperatures at every state of the point. Every state of the point means at the cycle P1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 1. So that way the cycle will completes. Cycle will completes from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1. So in this we know that at the point 3 it is in a cutoff ratio and 1 to 2 is in a adiabatic. We know that 1 to 2 is an adiabatic compression, means here the compression ratio we can write R is equal to V1 by V2, and next expansion ratio is from 3 to 4. So we can write the expansion ratio as a V4 by V3. Here the compression ratio is a V1 by V2 and expansion ratio is a V4 by V3, and one point is also there here, it is in a cutoff point. So we called it as a cutoff ratio. We called it as a cutoff ratio. Cutoff ratio rho is equal to V3 by V2. So total 3 ratios are there. One is a compression ratio, expansion ratio, cutoff ratio. So compression ratio R is equal to V1 by V2. V1 by V2. Here I am arrows they didn't represent. Here the compression ratio R is equal to V1 by V2. Expansion ratio V4 by V3. V4 by V3. Sorry, here is a V4 by V3. And cutoff ratio is rho is equal to V3 by V2. V3 by V2. Next, so we can write the relation between the compression ratio, expansion ratio and the cutoff ratio. adiabatic compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 adiabatic expansion, 4 to 1 heat rejection. So here we know that the compression ratio R is equal to V1 by V2, expansion ratio V4 by V3 and cutoff ratio V3 by V2. So by using these three ratios we can write the relation between compression ratio, expansion ratio and cutoff ratio by simplification we can write RC is equal to R rho, RC is equal to RE into rho. So I am taking here V4 by V2, V4 by V2, V4 by V2. So I am taking as a V3 in numerator and denominator, means multiplying and dividing. So it becomes as a V4 by V3 and V3 by V2. So here the V4 by V2, V4 by V2 is in nothing but the V1 by V2. We can write V1 is equal to V4. V1 is equal to, we know that V1 is equal to V4. We know that V1 is equal to V4. So we can write the V1 by V2 is equal to V4 because at constant volume heat is rejected. So V1 by V2 is equal to V4 by V3 into V3 by V2. So where V1 by V2 is a compression ratio, V4 by V3 is a expansion ratio, rho is a cutoff ratio. So we can write R is equal to RC by RE. So cutoff ratio is nothing but the ratio of the compression ratio by expansion ratio. So in one more question they will ask what is the cutoff ratio. It is defined as the ratio of the compression ratio by expansion ratio. So rho is equal to RC by RE. So cutoff ratio is equal to compression ratio by expansion ratio, and where Q1 is equal to nothing but the heat supplied. So heat supplied means we are supplying heat at the constant pressure. Heat supplied, I am writing here heat supplied, we are denoting with a Q1. Heat supplied Q1 and heat rejected Q2 is equal to CV T4 minus T1. Heat supplied Q1 is equal to Cp T1 T3 minus T2. Heat rejected Q2 is equal to mCv T4 minus T1. If they consider the mass as in terms of a other than 1, you can write mCv T4 minus T1. Next, we know that the A standard efficiency is equal to output by input. So what is the output here? Amount of the work done by the system, and input is the heat we are giving to the system. So our work done is equal to Q1 minus Q2 divided by Q1. So we know that the Q1 values and the Q2 values, simply substituted that and get Cp by Cv as a gamma. So simply cut T3 by T2 minus T3 by T2 minus bring this Cv to the downwards, it becomes a Cp by Cv. Cp by Cv is nothing but gamma. So T4 minus T1 divided by Cp into T3 minus T1. So A standard efficiency in terms of a temperatures and the adiabatic index is 1 minus T4 minus T1 divided by gamma into T3 minus T2. And we also know that the adiabatic compression is 1 to 2, and we are all aware about the relation between temperature and the volume. So we can write the T2 by T1 is the analysis of the diesel cycle. So for the solving the problems, you have to understand what is the 1 to 2 process, what are the steps involved in the 1 to 2 process, and 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 1. So first one 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is an adiabatic compression. Adiabatic compression. So in the adiabatic compression, we know that the relations between the temperature and the volume. So T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1. and we know that the compression ratio is a V1 by V2. So, we are replacing that the V1 by V2 is as a R power gamma minus 1. Here T2 is equal to T1 R power gamma minus 1. So, while solving the problems, if the one temperature T1 and the compression ratio given by using the relation of T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1, we can calculate the temperature at point 2. Next, consider a constant pressure process 2 to 3. So, we know that the 2 to 3 is a heat supply. We are supplying the heat at a constant pressure. Here the pressure is a constant. So, P2 is equal to P3 and T3 by T2 pressure is a constant. So, volume is directly proportional to the temperature because the PV is equal to MRT. If keeping the pressure as a constant, the volume is directly proportional to the temperature, and the process is represented by 2 to 3. That is why you can write that T3 by T2 is equal to V3 by V2, and these V3 by V2, we know that this V3 by V2 is nothing but the cutoff ratio. So, T3 by T2 is equal to, we can write is equal to rho. T3 by T2 is equal to rho. So, from the first process we can calculate the temperature T2. From 1 to 2 process we can calculate the temperature T2, and from 2 to 3 process we can calculate the temperature T3 by knowing the cutoff ratio. T3 is equal to T2 rho. Substituting the value of a T2 from the equation. So, T3 is equal to, we can write this equation also, T3 is equal to T1 whole power T1 into R power gamma minus 1. So, next coming to the third process, that is in a 3 to 4 is an adiabatic expansion process. For that the same also we can write there is a T3 by T4 is equal to V4 by V3 whole power gamma minus 1. And we know that the V4 by V3 is an expansion ratio here because the process is an adiabatic expansion. So, V4 by V3 is an expansion ratio, Re is equal Re power gamma minus 1. And we know that the cutoff ratio rho is equal to compression ratio by expansion ratio. We know that that cutoff ratio rho is equal to compression ratio RC divided by RE, compression ratio RC divided by RE. So, in place of RE I am writing as a RC by rho. So, here the RC or rho both are the same, RC and the R also both are same, compression ratio only. So, I am writing as a Re is power gamma minus 1 as a, we can write this also RC power RC divided by rho whole power gamma minus 1. So, from the third equation we can calculate the T3, and if you know the expansion ratio we can calculate the T4 also. Next, coming to the fourth process. So, we can write that T4 is equal to T3 rho power gamma minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1. So, simply I am writing these, substituting the value of T3 in the equation 3, we can get T4 is equal to T1 rho power gamma. So, by using this relation we can calculate the temperature at fourth state. So, substituting the proper values of the equations 2, 3, 4 and 1, the A standard efficiency of a diesel cycle as a this one. So, you have to remember this formula, efficiency of a diesel cycle, thermal efficiency or A standard efficiency of diesel cycle is 1 minus 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1, where R is the compression ratio, gamma is adiabatic index, rho power gamma minus 1 and rho minus 1 into gamma. So, this one is the expression for an A standard cycle for a diesel cycle, and observe that this part is the efficiency of an Otto cycle, and we have to and some more product is added, that one is a this one is efficiency of an Otto cycle, efficiency of an Otto cycle. So you can say that the diesel cycle efficiency is more than that of an we can say that the diesel cycle diesel cycle depends upon the value of a compression ratio and a cutoff ratio. Next, in this expression, if you take the gamma value as a 1.4, so then the A standard cycle efficiency depends upon the values of compression ratio and cutoff ratio. As the increase of compression ratio, there will be increase in the efficiency of the diesel cycle, and if the cutoff ratio increases means there is a decrease in the efficiency. So, we will calculate the efficiency for different values of a cutoff ratio and the compression ratio. So, you have to remember this formula. Efficiency of diesel cycle is 1 minus 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1 into rho power gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into rho minus 1. So, in the above expression, gamma will be constant for air, gamma is equal to 1.4. Therefore, the A standard efficiency of diesel cycle depends on both the values compression ratio and cutoff ratio. As the increase in the compression ratio, the increase in the efficiency. As increase in the cutoff ratio, there is a decrease in the efficiency. So, you have to remember these 2 points. With increasing in the compression ratio, the efficiency will increases. At the increase in the cutoff ratio, cutoff ratio, the efficiency decreases. For the same compression ratio, it is a more efficient. It is more efficient, and for same compression ratio, it is a less efficient. So, here see that uh, for the same heat input means 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 represents an Otto cycle, same as a diesel cycle also. But here in Otto cycle, we are giving heat at constant volume, whereas in the diesel cycle we are giving the at constant pressure. For that, for the same compression ratio and the heat input, for the same compression ratio and heat input, the heat input is very very important. For that, the efficiency of an Otto cycle is more than the efficiency of a diesel cycle. Efficiency of Otto cycle is more than that of a diesel cycle. It also in Otto cycle, and that the heat rejection is very less compared to the diesel cycle also. If you draw the graph of both the Otto cycle and the diesel cycle, we can clearly observe that the heat rejection of Otto cycle is less than that of the heat rejection of diesel cycle. So efficiency is depends upon compression ratio, whereas in the diesel cycle it depends upon both the compression ratio and cutoff ratio. We know that the formula of efficiency of Otto cycle is 1 minus 1 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1, whereas to the diesel cycle some product is also there, 1 minus 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1 bracket open rho power gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into rho minus 1. So that is the efficiency of a diesel cycle. So it depends upon both the compression ratio and the cutoff ratio. So cutoff ratio we are representing with a rho value, and R is a compression ratio. So for the Otto cycle, it is used only for the petrol and gas engines, works on the cycles, whereas diesel engine works the heavy oil, and the diesel engine works on this cycle. So Otto cycle are used for the mainly petrol engines, and diesel cycles are used for the heavy oil, and the diesel engine works on these cycles. And some more points are also there, but I didn't write here, just I will tell. So for the same maximum temperature and the pressure and the heat rejection, so the heat supplied of the Otto cycle is less than that of the diesel cycle. Heat supplied of the Otto cycle is less than that of the diesel cycle. So if you take means at the point 3, we will get the maximum temperature and pressure, and heat rejection is also more in diesel cycle. Heat rejection also more in diesel cycle. Then automatically then the efficiency of a diesel cycle is greater than the efficiency of an Otto cycle. Efficiency of a Otto cycle. So when the efficiency of diesel cycle is more, so when we consider the condition that the same maximum pressure and temperature and heat rejection, the efficiency of a diesel cycle is more than that the efficiency of an Otto cycle. And one more point also there, at same maximum pressure and heat input, there also the efficiency of diesel cycle is more than that of a efficiency of Otto cycle. Why? Because here the heat rejection for the Otto cycle is more than that of the diesel cycle. That's why that the efficiency of a diesel cycle is greater than the efficiency of Otto cycle. So this can easily explain by seeing the diagrams. If you draw the graph of a PV diagram of both Otto cycle and the diesel cycle on the same graph, you can easily observe that the three conditions. First condition is that the same compression ratio and heat input, same compression ratio and the heat input, the efficiency of Otto cycle is greater than the efficiency of diesel cycle. Why? Because the heat rejection is less than the diesel cycle. Heat rejection is less than the diesel cycle. And coming to the second point, for the same maximum pressure and temperature and heat rejection, then the efficiency of a diesel cycle is greater than the efficiency of Otto cycle, where here the heat supplied for the diesel cycle is more than that of a Otto cycle. So this is one of the second point. Next point, for the same maximum pressure and the heat input, the efficiency of diesel cycle is greater than the efficiency of Otto cycle, and the heat rejection for Otto cycle is more than that of the diesel cycle. So these are the main difference between the Otto cycle and diesel cycle. So 5 points are very important. So first point is that it consists of a two adiabatic process. I am telling first Otto cycle, next diesel cycle. Coming to the Otto cycle. So the Otto cycle consists of a two adiabatic process and two constant volume process. Whereas to the diesel cycle, it consists of a two adiabatic process and one constant volume and one constant pressure. So this is to the diesel cycle. And second point, so here in Otto cycle, the heat is supplied at constant volume, And whereas in the diesel cycle, the heat is supplied at constant pressure. That's why we call it as a constant pressure process. After that, draw in the difference also you have to represent the PV graph for both Otto cycle and the diesel cycle, and the TS diagram for both Otto cycle and diesel cycle. By seeing that the graph, we can tell that for the same compression ratio and heat input, the Otto cycle is more efficient than the diesel cycle. And here, and after that, write the efficiency formula also. After that, write the efficiency formula for both the Otto cycle and diesel cycle. So, efficiency of Otto cycle is 1 minus 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1. Whereas in the case of a diesel cycle, 1 minus 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1 and bracket open rho power gamma minus 1 divided by gamma bracket open rho minus 1 close. So, whereas then the diesel cycle efficiency depends upon both the compression ratio and the cutoff ratio. And one more point also here, that as efficiency increases, the compression ratio increases. Here also an increase of a compression ratio, the diesel efficiency increases, and increased of cutoff ratio, if the cutoff ratio value is increasing, the efficiency of a diesel cycle is decreases. And the Otto cycle depends mainly on the Otto cycle works for the petrol and gas engines, whereas the diesel cycle works for the heavy oil and the diesel engines works on this cycle. So, these are the difference between Otto cycle and diesel cycle. Next, we will compare the Carnot cycle and diesel cycle. Next question is comparison of a Carnot cycle and diesel cycle. So, Carnot cycle consists of a two reversible adiabatic process and two reversible isothermal process. Whereas in the diesel cycle, it consists of a reversible adiabatic, one constant pressure and one constant volume process. So, we all know that because in the first class we studied about the Carnot cycle. In this class we studied about the diesel cycle. So, Carnot cycle consists of a two isothermal and two adiabatic process. So, second point. So, here the heat added during the isothermal process. Here the heat is added. 2 to 3 is the heat added, where 2 to 3 is the heat addition at isothermal process. Here the heat, here means the diesel cycle. For the diesel cycle, heat is added at constant pressure. Heat is added at constant pressure process. Next point. The efficiency depends upon only temperature, because they write the efficiency formula also. Efficiency is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1. So, T1 is the maximum temperature and T2 is the minimum temperature. Coming to the diesel cycle, the efficiency depends upon both the compression ratio and cutoff ratio. So, you have to write the formula also. How to write the formula for both the Carnot cycle and diesel cycle. Next, it's practically impossible to construct an engine works on a Carnot cycle. So, it is very impossible to construct an engine with a Carnot cycle. Next, heavy oil and the diesel engines works on this cycle. So, we all know that the heavy oil and the diesel engines works on the cycles. So, this is the difference between the Carnot cycle and the diesel cycle, and we have to draw the graph of the PV diagram and the TS diagram for both the Carnot cycle and the diesel cycle also, and write the efficiencies of both the Carnot cycle. Efficiency is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1, minimum temperature divided by the maximum temperature, and we know that the efficiency of the diesel cycle is 1 minus 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1 bracket open rho power gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into rho minus 1. So, this is the difference between the Carnot cycle and the. So, next is the difference between the Carnot cycle and the Otto cycle. So, whenever the question asks the comparison of any cycles, first we have to draw the PV diagram and the TS diagram for both the cycles. So, it comprises of a two reversible adiabatic and two reversible isothermal process, and whereas Otto cycle we know that it comprises of a 2 reversible adiabatic and 2 constant volume process, and here the heat is supplied during the isothermal process, whereas in the case of an Otto cycle heat is supplied at a constant volume process. That's why we call it as a constant volume process also. So after writing these points, you have to draw the PV diagram for both the Carnot cycle and the Otto cycle. After that, TS diagram also for both Otto cycle and Carnot cycle, and represent what are the process 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1, and in Otto cycle also repeat like that only. After that, write the efficiencies of both the cycles. Write the efficiency of both the cycles. Next, for the same temperature limit, the Carnot cycle is more efficient. For the same temperature limits, Otto cycle is less efficient than the Carnot cycle. So already we discussed while in the class of the Otto cycle. So for the same temperature limits, the efficiency of Otto cycle is always less than the efficiency of the Carnot cycle. And we also solve one problem by using the same temperature limits for both the Carnot cycle and the Otto cycle. We got that the efficiency of Carnot cycle is more than that of the efficiency of an Otto cycle, and here the efficiency is depends upon only the temperature only, and whereas the efficiency depends upon the compression ratio. As the compression ratio is increasing, that the efficiency of an Otto cycle is also increases. And here write the efficiency formula also. Efficiency is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1 for the Carnot cycle, where T1 is the maximum temperature and T2 is the minimum temperature. In case of an Otto cycle, the efficiency is equal to 1 minus 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1. Practically impossible to construct an engine works on a Carnot cycle. So it is impossible to construct an engine which is works on an Otto cycle. So sorry, which works on a Carnot cycle. But in the case of a Otto cycle, it is used for a petrol engines and a gas engines works on these cycles. And so mean effective pressure. So mean effective pressure is nothing but a quantity relating to the operation of a reciprocating engine, and it has a valuable measure of an engine capacity to do the work. Means that is independent upon the engine displacement. That is independent on the engine cylinder. So it is nothing but the whatever the average pressure acting whatever the average pressure acting on a piston during the different portions of this cycle called as a mean effective pressure. So a parameter used to describe the performance of the reciprocating engine is mean effective pressure. So for the 1 mark question it is important. So in the question paper they will ask what is the mean effective pressure. So you can write like this: a parameter used to describe the performance of a reciprocating engine is a mean effective pressure. So the mean effective pressure is a theoretically constant pressure that if it is acted on the piston during the power stroke is happens at the 3 to 4 would produce the same net work actually developed in one cycle. So how will you calculate the mean effective pressure? Means that the mean effective pressure is equal to net work for a one cycle by the swept volume. So the swept volume of the cylinder is nothing but the pi by 4 d square L. So d is nothing but the diameter of the cylinder. L is the length of the stroke. So that is a mean effective pressure. So net work for a one cycle divided by the swept volume. So this is the about the diesel cycle. So in the next class we will solve the problems based on the diesel cycle. So in this class we learn about the diesel cycle operation and what are the sequence followed in the diesel cycle: 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1. So whereas the 1 to 2 is called an adiabatic compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure process, 3 to 4 adiabatic expansion, and 4 to 1 is a constant volume process. We know that the compression ratio for 1 to 2 is an adiabatic compression. So there we can write the compression ratio R is equal to V1 by V2, and whereas in the expansion, adiabatic expansion is takes place from 3 to 4. So adiabatic expansion RE is equal to V4 by V3, and the cutoff ratio, here one point that the supply of heat is stopped at a particular point. So that point is called as a cutoff point. So the supply of heat is stopped at that point is known as a cutoff point. So in this graph the point 3 represents the cutoff point. So the air expands, after that the air expands adiabatically from 3 to 4. So the work is done by the gas due to the expense of an internal energy, and there will be no heat transfer. So the cutoff ratio rho is equal to V3 by V2. So we can write this cutoff ratio in terms of a compression ratio by expansion ratio. So rho is equal to R by compression expansion ratio. So cutoff ratio is nothing but the ratio of compression ratio by expansion ratio. And efficiency of a diesel cycle. So in terms of a temperature, so in terms of a temperature means 1 minus bracket open T4 minus T1 divided by gamma into T3 minus T2. So where T1 and T2 are the temperatures at the beginning of compression, and T3 and T4 are the temperatures at the beginning and the end of the expansion. That is here the efficiency of the diesel cycle depends upon the both compression ratio and the cutoff ratio. So efficiency of diesel is a 1 minus 1 divided by R power gamma minus 1 bracket open rho power gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into rho minus 1. So these are the formulas for the diesel cycle. So in the next class, some problems on the diesel cycle. Thank you.